guys, today I'll be explaining and ranking every domain expansion in Jujutsu Shenanigans. This ranking will be purely on my own experience in the game, and if your domain is in the lower end of the tiers, please don't judge me, it's just my opinion. There's some domains I do like and some I don't. So anyways, let's get into the video. In last place I have Hakari's domain expansion. To activate Hakari's domain expansion, you have to use the Restless Gambler character over here, and also you have to have your ultimate. But this is actually unique, because you don't actually activate your ultimate immediately. Instead, when pressing your ultimate, you start to summon your domain. And it basically takes you into the train station area, and it looks pretty cool. But what you might notice is that your opponent isn't taking any damage. This is because this is what we call a non-lethal domain expansion. This means that it's not directly supposed to harm your opponent, it's meant to give a buff to you. To use Hakari's domain properly, you have to get Jackpot. To get Jackpot, you have to either use Reserve Balls, Shutter Doors, Fever Breaker, and your counter. For Fever Breaker and your counter, they have to land on an opponent, otherwise they won't count for Jackpot. Basically, you use two moves like Reserve Balls and Shutter Doors. Then it plays a scene, and wow, I'm really lucky. Normally it takes at least 3 turns. And as you can see, I'm now in Jackpot. What this means is, my moves get buffed. I'm now technically in Ultimate. But what you might be wondering is, hey, Hakari is a good character. Why are you rating his domain so low? Well, that's actually because I'm rating the domain itself and not the character. Overall, I think Hakari is a great character, but in terms of his domain, it's literally only used to get his ultimate. I'll have to give this a bottom tier. It's really mid. The only thing it does is trap your opponents in with you, which is something you don't want. On to the next domain expansion, Malevolence Shrine. For this, you'll need Itadori's ultimate, or in the game, Vessel's ultimate. This will transform you into Sukuna, but I'll get into this on a later video. For now, we'll only be focusing on the domain expansion. Let me just summon something to show you guys something. Perfect English, I know, right? So basically, you just press your fourth move in your ultimate and it does this. As you can see, the slashes damages everyone in the domain, which actually has the highest damage output in the entire game if all slashes hit. The reason why this domain is ranked so low is because if your opponent is blocking like this, they will completely negate the point of the domain because they basically take no damage. Like, see, they only took like a fourth of the damage that they were supposed to. If they weren't blocking, they were supposed to be dead, but now they are actually mid HP. This is why I rank this domain so low. Overall, it's a good domain if you know how to use it properly. I've seen Sukuna and Itadori mains go crazy with this domain expansion. But if you're just using it randomly, you probably won't get a lot of kills with Malevolence Shrine. That's why I place it right above Idle Death Gamble. The next domain I'll be covering is Infinite Void. For this, you'll need Gojo's ultimate, or in the game, the Honored One's ultimate. Then you have to use your fourth move, which is called Infinite Void. You summon it with a hand sign, and then you basically get teleported into space with like a big eye and the black holes and all that stuff. Now, the unique thing about this is that it doesn't damage your opponent, but it forces them so that they can't move or block. Wait, let me Oh. That's actually a problem I have with Infinite Void. Its duration is super low. But before we get to the problems, let me just expand my domain again and summon a blocking dummy and an attacking dummy. As you can see, even though I summoned a blocking and an attacking dummy, they aren't blocking or attacking. This is because it disables any and all movement or activities, including moves. But as you can see, the problem with this domain expansion is its low cooldown. It's really good if you want to get kills fast, but if you have enemies scattered all around your domain, you probably won't be able to kill them all in time. The only good thing about this domain is Gojo's moveset, which is OP because of its high damage output. This is why I deem it to be the second best domain in the game. On to the final and best domain in my opinion in Jujutsu Shenanigans. Self-embodied essence of perfection. I think that's what it's called. Yes, I got it right the first time. Now, self-embodiment of perfection is very unique because it... Let me just use it real quick. Yo, guy, all that stuff. Now, what you might notice that there's a bar next to my opponent. Now, what this bar does is, the closer you are to your opponent, the more damage it does. And when the bar gets to 0, then your opponent will instantly die, no matter what. It doesn't matter if they're Maharaga or Heian-era Sukuna or anything. When using self-embodiment of perfection, you just need to get close to your opponent and it will instantly one-shot them without exception. Let me showcase that real quick, properly. As you can see, I spawned like 4 dummies or 5 dummies, and when I use my domain expansion, all I need to do is get near to them and they all pop. This technically makes it the most lethal domain in Jujutsu Shenanigans, as it has the potential to do almost infinite damage depending on how many players you have in it. It's also longer than Infinite Void, which is a great buff. This is why I deem it the best domain in the game. If you have a problem with my ranking or you want to comment on my ranking, please comment in the comment section. Yeah, no duh, where else are you going to comment? Please like and follow, please subscribe, share to your friends, and stay humble.